Hey guys, this is Dev66 here, and today we're playing some Arma Reforger. In this video, I'm going to be showing you and also demonstrating why you should be playing as an 88 mic in this game, specifically in multiplayer. Alright guys, to start it off, what is an 88 mic? An 88 mic is an MOS in the United States Army, better known as a motor transport operator, or in civilian terms, a truck driver. As you can see in this little area right here, you saw this little green circle in this game that represents supplies. So 9 times out of 10 you're going to be getting supplies, and then the 1 out of 10 is you providing troop transportation. Alright, so why should you be an 88 mic? Well, let's start off with reason number 1. Alright, reason number 1, everyone needs supplies, right? When you first spawn in, everyone goes to the ammo depot and gets their new weapons, or they're customizing their gear, and so much more. And you can see that the supplies pretty much drain faster and faster, and supplies not also help you customize your loadout, but they're the ones that spawn you in vehicles like this, spawn helipads, spawn field hospitals, and get you so much more that this is pretty much gold, right? And so when people aren't helping you get these supplies, or if they're running out and they're wondering, why the hell can I not build or anything, and you notice that there's no supplies. So you being an 88 mic, you are the backbone of this game. And you can see me in this little clip right here trying to get the supplies. Now keep in mind though that enemy AI will spawn in over here, but I thought that the enemy AI were already killed, but unfortunately sometimes they do spawn in again, and you can see me die. So just keep that in mind when you go and get the supplies, that there are going to be some enemies that are going to spawn in, and you're going to have to pretty much kill them. Now before we get to reason number 2, I'm just going to show you in this little clip on how fast it is to drain these supply points. You can see at Port in Alabama, we started off with 2,844 supply points, and we just wasted 200 supply points on the supply truck. Now, it doesn't seem like much that we just wasted, but when people start trying to spawn in helicopters or more vehicles, a helicopter is, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit over 1,200, give or take. And so that would leave you with just a little bit over 1,000, but not by much. So you can see how fast that these supplies can definitely be wasted. But let's continue on reason number 2. Reason number 2 is you can rank up faster. Now it's not going to be like one supply run where we can do it and then all of a sudden we're promoted to corporal. No, you're probably going to have to do at least 2 or if not 3 supply runs before you become corporal, let alone a sergeant, right? But you can get promoted a little bit more faster than just being a regular infantryman and hopefully trying to take over bases without dying. Alright, but you can see right here I tried to go to Point, Alabama. Unfortunately, we could not because the enemy took over Illinois, so I had to go and find a base where it was controlled by us but also had the least amount of supplies. Unfortunately, it was not Texas, which I wanted to go because it felt more safer, but it wasn't, and it was actually Vermont. And you can see right here when I go to it, it only had 90 supply points, which meant that I have to plan out my route very carefully, but I was going to be going through a lot of enemy bases that were pretty much going to get me killed. And that's the cons, at least one of the cons about being an 88 mic, is that you're not going to be fighting. You're just going to be driving, and if they start shooting at you, well, you better drive like hell. But anyway, you can see right here that we get to Vermont safely, and you can see on the bottom right hand corner how fast, or at least how much points we get as we rank up. And now, like I said, it's not a lot, but it is one of the quickest ways to get promoted. Alright, but let's move on to reason number 3. Alright, reason number 3. You don't have to kill anyone. It is that simple. That is not your job. Your main job as an 88 mic is to deliver goods or supplies in this game and drop off troops. Now, if you're dropping off troops, I highly encourage you not to put them at the base. I've seen a few times where people that are driving the truck similar to mine, the troop transport truck, and next thing you know, they're going inside the base and then they get RPG'd because they decide to be dumb and stupid instead of being tactical and smart. Now, if you are getting the troops, get them to maybe a mile or half a mile, depending on the terrain and vegetation, and if they're able to not see them in the tree lines. That is a safe place for them to be dismounted, and then they get not only to be silent, but they get the 3 fundamentals as well: speed, surprise, bias of action. And then that way you don't also stick out like a sore thumb when you're driving in the middle of the road or a dirt road. Alright, so when should you dismount? You should only dismount when you're getting the supplies. Now, it could either be you, the driver, or your TC or your passenger, and then they get out and load the supplies. Now, if you're on the gunner and you're doing a convoy type style, then the only time you should be getting out is if, well, they shot your tires, you guys don't have a repair truck, and you guys have either supplies or you need to get from point A to point B. Chances are, if that does happen, you're going to have to go on foot and be an infantryman. But if you have a repair truck next to you, or they tell you to stand by, and then they have the repair truck and they're fixing your vehicle, then you're going to have to provide security for them. But yeah, only 2 things that you should be dismounting: loading the supplies, and if your vehicle is damaged, you're going to have to go on foot. Alright, but not everything is always good about an 88 mic, so let's go over the cons. Now, one of the major cons is that you are the target for your enemies, right? You're going to be the #1 priority besides helos, right? Now, the reason why is because in both in-game and reality, since you are the backbone of your organization, or in this case, for your team, and if they take down the backbone, the rest of the structure falls. And that can actually happen because once you drop or take out the supply chain, I should say, everything else goes to shit. There's going to be no ammunition, there's going to be no optics and weapons for them, there's going to be no supplies, and yeah, and it's a realization. Even right here, right, I'm trying to find the transport truck, and this is a perfect demonstration of what happens when you get ambushed, or in this case killed, and you're trying to deliver supplies from one objective to another. And I just spawned in at California, and like I said, the transport truck cost 200 supply points, and they only had 156. So I get over here, I start walking a little bit, and you can see that it slowly goes up a little bit, but I do have to wait for a while, and it's only 172. So it's slowly going up, but you can see the realization on how 88 mics are good in this game. It's just the only cons is that everyone's going to be gunning out for you besides pilots. Alright, but that's really the only major con, is that you're just going to be getting ambushed a lot, and be ready, especially if they steal your team's comms or radios. Because once you start talking to the radio and where you're going from point A to point B from where, and an enemy knows exactly where you're at or coming from, they could set up an actual ambush, and it could be very strategic, or it's going to be to where they don't know how to set up a decent ambush, and you might get away. So who knows? But yeah. But anyway guys, that is it for the video. Alright, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. But I'll see you all in the next video.